Hello everyone, welcome to lesson 1.7, the last lesson of this chapter. Nothing really new to learn here, it's more problem solving practice for us. So your objective today is to be able to solve problems involving ratios and rates. So try to take everything we've learned throughout this unit and put it all together and do some problem solving. I'm going to do 3 examples and then you're going to do 2 on your own. Example 1. Heritage Middle School has 150 students. So when I do a problem, I kind of slow myself down and think, okay, this school has 150 students. Keep a note to myself. Maybe I'll even just write it down. 2 out of 3 students. So right there, those are trigger words. I'm seeing a ratio here. I'm going to write that down. 2 out of 3 students in Mrs. Mason's class preferred gel toothpaste. Okay. Use this ratio to predict how many students in the entire middle school prefer gel toothpaste. Okay, 2 out of every 3. All right. 2 out of 3 like gel toothpaste, and there is 150 students total. That's going to be my denominator. So if 2 out of every 3, now I can make a table that goes forever. I could actually say if 2 out of every 3 would mean 4 out of every 6, which I could keep doubling it actually as I go. 8 out of every 12, 16 out of every 24, 32 out of every 48. That's going to take me a while. All right, so I have better skills than just that. So if 2 out of 3 is the total amount of students in that one scenario, I have 150 students total. How can I get from 3 to 150? Well, I know I can multiply by something. Now if I ignore that 0 there, I know 3 times 5 equals 15. So I know that 3 times 50 would equal 150. Do the same thing up here. 2 times 50 equals 100. So out of the 150 students in the school, if we keep this ratio, 100 of them would prefer gel toothpaste. All right, that makes sense, right? 2 out of every 3. 100, if I count by 50s, 50, 100, 150. This is 3 spots, 1, 2, 3. If I get 2 of them, 2 out of the 3 would be 100 total. All right? Hopefully I'm not confusing you. I'm just showing you what's going on during my brain as I problem solve. Here's my next example. The ratio of the number of text messages sent by Lucas to the number of text messages sent by his sister is 3 to 4. I see a ratio. I'm going to write it down. 3 to 4. And I know that the 3 is Lucas, so I'm going to put an L right there. And his sister, we don't know her name, I'll put an S right there. So for every 3 that he sends, his sister sends 4. How many text messages did his sister send? Oh, sorry, I skipped a line. Lucas sent 18 messages. So notice I put my L up there to remember that's where Lucas is. Lucas is on the top, he's got to be on the top up here. He sent 18 messages. I don't know. I'm going to put an X there. I don't know how many his sister sent. Okay, so how did I go from 3 to 18? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. I multiplied by 6. All right, so to figure out how many she sent, I have to multiply by 6. 4 times 6 equals, 24. So, if he sent out 18 messages, his sister would have sent out 24. Last example, and this one might be a little difficult. All right, so stay with me. I might be doing some different things we haven't talked about yet, but I'm just going to try to use my mind here. The Millers drove 105 miles on 4 gallons of gas. I see ratios right away. After this whole unit, I hope you're seeing them too. 105 miles, labeling it, on 4 gallons of gas. At this rate, how many miles can they drive on 6 gallons of gas. Okay, so they're going to have 6 gallons of gas. I don't know how many miles they can drive. I have to figure that part out. Lots of things I can do here. I'm going to do what I think is the easiest way. If I have to go from 4 to 6. All right. And then whatever I do down here, I have to do up there. I might be dealing with some decimals. I think I'm going to have to. I'm going to have to. All right, so how do I go from 4 to 6? Well, I can divide by 2 and multiply by 3, right? Or I can multiply by 3 and divide by 2. It's up to me, because whatever I do down here, I have to do up there. Let's try dividing by 2. So 4 divided by 2 equals 2. And then let's multiply by 3, because 2 times 3 equals 6. So I have to do the same 2 steps up here, divide by 2 and then times 3. So let's do some work over here. 105 divided by 2. I'm not going to do it mentally because I know I'm going to have a decimal in there. There's going to be a half. All right, 2 can go into 10 5 times. 5 times 2 equals 10. Bring down my 5. How many times can 2 go into 5? Just twice. But 2 times 2 equals 4. All right, 5 minus 4 equals 1. I'm going to put my decimal right here and bring it right up and annex a 0 and bring that 0 down. How many times can 2 go into 10? 5 times, and it goes 5 times 2 equals 10. I have nothing left over. I can stop. All right, so remember, that's just our first step. All right, because I divided by 2, now I have to take 52 and 5/10 and multiply it by 3. I did my first step, now I have to multiply by 3. So I'll take my 52 and 5/10 times 3. Now remember, when we multiply decimals, from when we did that in chapter 3, first unit we did this year, we kind of ignore that decimal, and we'll put it back in after. 3 times 5 equals 15. 3 times 2 equals 6 plus 1 equals 7. 3 times 5 equals 15. It's not 1,575 because I have one place value spot. There it is. So it's 157 and a half, or 157 and 5/10. All right, so this becomes 157 and 5/10. I could cross multiply to check my work. All right, 157 and 5/10 times 4 should equal out to 105 times 6. I would probably do that part in a calculator to check my work. I'm not going to waste your time doing it out right now, but you could check at home if you want to. All right, and one other way speaking of cross multiplying, I know we don't really do that here, but I could really solve this problem by doing that. 105, miles over 4 gallons equals 6 gallons, and we didn't know what that is. So I could cross multiply. I would do 105 times 6, okay, and that would equal 630. So I'll write 630 right there. Oops, I didn't want to do that. I don't know how that just popped up. Okay, and then I would do 4 times x equals, or 4 times x equals 4x. So 630 divided by, well, now I have to get x by, now I'm getting to algebra. Divided by 4, divide by 4, and my x would equal, you could check that out too, 630 divided by 4. I'm telling you right now, it is going to equal 157 and a half. So I might have really confused you on this problem by showing my thinking. I'm sorry if I did. But basically, try to bring everything to ratios and rates. Find the ratios and rates, and then find if they're equivalent. Do whatever steps you need to do that you've learned throughout this unit to solve the next couple of problems that you're going to see. All right, you have 2 problems here. Number 1, out of 30 students surveyed, 17 have a dog. Based on these results, let me move this over a little bit. Based on these results, predict how many of the 300 students in the school have a dog. All right, so you're going to want to set up a ratio right away. I'll help you out on the first one. 30 students were surveyed. 17 have a dog. Okay? If there's 300 students total, this is my total that were surveyed, so I could even write a T right there if I wanted to. If there's 300 students total, how do I go from 3,300? Whatever I do, I'll have to do to the top. All right? Number 2, you're all on your own in that one. I'll read it for you, though. If 1 out of 12 students at a school share a locker, how many share a locker in a school of 456 students? You guys can handle this. You have the skills to do it. We'll see you real soon.